Hi everybody. Just wanted to go through some information on citing sources. In this essay, you will be using sources that I provide for you. They've all come off the World Wide Web, and this is just a really quick introduction to the material. One of the first things that you want to look at is the sample MLA essay, and that's in course resources in that module. I'll also copy it into this one. But one thing you'll notice about this, other than what you've already been doing, like the title information, the title itself, page numbers, and your name, is that when you scroll down, you may find, for example, a quotation with this little thing right behind it. So this is an in-text citation, also called a parenthetical citation, but in-text is what we'll use for this class. And what those in-text citations do is they alert you to the fact that this information came from this author. Because if I look at the name, Danoff, I can go all the way back to the Works Cited page. There we go. And I can look on the Works Cited and I can find, hey, here's Danoff. And then I get the complete information for the source. Now, way back in the Stone Ages, you used to have to put footnotes at the bottom of the page or a note page at the end, but MLA has really, I think, in some ways streamlined the way that we do citations. So this sample essay will show you exactly what it needs to look like. Now, the other thing that you can look at in the MLA section of Purdue OWL is all the stuff that goes into MLA citation. So looking at the style, looking at an overview, how do I cite in text citations? And the basics will give you literally that, the basics. And as you go down and look at all the different things that are here, those will be things we'll look at much more closely in the next couple of weeks, but it's definitely something you want to make yourself familiar with before you move into English 1102 or obviously any other class that asks you to cite using MLA. So with that in mind, I just wanted to go through some information so that you can kind of understand when you do this and why you do this. So this PowerPoint will be in the module as well. And look at when and how to cite sources. So this is when you want to use in-text citation and works cited citation. And in this, you use citation when you directly quote from a source. That means that you use all original text. You don't change anything. You also use it when you paraphrase from a source, which means that I'm using the original text ideas and maybe a couple of words, but for the most part, it's in my own words. And then a summarization from a source. So simply a summary of an idea in the text, but once again, I'm using my own words to do that. So for this sample, what I've done is I've gone and picked out an article online, and this is one that I'm using in my own writing, so I kind of had it on hand. But if you just sort of look at the screen cap that I got, this is a website called Pop Matters. It's an article about Mad Max Fury Road. And if I'm putting together the information that I'll need for my in-text and works cited citations, I want obviously the title of the article. So here, Power and Disability in Mad Max Fury Road. I want the author if I have one, and I do. I don't think he showed up. Oh no, there he is in my screen cap. So Brent Walter Klein, the website I'm on, Pop Matters, and the date that this was originally published is June 17th, 2015. So When I put together what I need as far as my citations, I always do my works cited page first. And this is actually a really good habit to get into, and especially when you end up writing essays where you may have 10 to 20 sources. Doing it this way, kind of do the works cited first, is a little bit more helpful because you already know what you're looking for then in your in-text citation. So this is the template from OWL for citing a electronic source, in this case a article from a web magazine. And I've just put in the same information here with what I had. So I have the author's name, last name first, first name last, in this case is middle name, then the title of the article, then the website or name of the site that the article appeared on. The original date was 17 June 2015, because remember, you always do that European version, so it's day, month, year. This then is the citation, or excuse me, not citation. I'll try that again. This is the address of the article, but I have gotten rid of the HTTPS or the www so that this doesn't create an automatic link. And then when I accessed it, so I'm going to say I'm looking at it for the purposes of the essay that I'm writing, and I saw it on 18 October 2020. You always want to put the most recent date you've accessed it. The reason you do that, very simple, because web pages can change. So if in a month, my instructor was reading through my paper and they go to this address and there's no article like this, then they can also look at the accessed date and say, oh, okay, it must have changed since then. So that's a really interesting thing that you want to do. It can sometimes keep you out of trouble with instructors. So then I'm going to move on to my in-text citation. Okay, so I know something has to come after the quote or the paraphrase. Well, anytime, once again, I quote, I paraphrase, or I summarize, here's what I'm doing. So this is a direct quotation from the source. This is the original article text. So this is, I think, the second full paragraph, and I just pulled it out here. And if in my own article, I want to say there have been articles written about the themes of feminism in Mad Max, but, and then I directly quote the original text, I put it in quotations. More needs to be said about Furiosa as not only a powerful female character, but a powerful disabled female character. And I take that word for word. And then when I end my quote, that's my in-text citation. In this case, it's going to be the author's last name. And if I don't have an author, then I can actually leave that part blank. If I do have page numbers, which usually if you're using an online source, you won't, but if I did, I would just put my author's last name and the page number. You don't put anything else here. No dates, no page numbers, or excuse me, paragraph numbers, just the author's last name, page number if you've got it. So that's if I'm quoting it directly. If I paraphrase it, that means that I'm still relying on that source. This isn't necessarily something I came up with on my own. So in this case, the Mad Max series has always included women who are strong, but Fury Road features a woman who is not only strong, but also disabled. And I still have to go back and give Klein credit for that, because in this case, it's not something that I'm writing from my own perception. It's something that I'm researching. So this is maybe not something that I've thought of before. And then, of course, the last one is summarizing a text. This, of course, same original article. And I put here, Klein's article is a look at the film's female characters, and specifically Furiosa as a female and disabled character. And you might go, wait a minute, you didn't put that citation thing at the end. No, I didn't, because I've already mentioned the author in the text. If I do that, I don't have to include their name after. If there was a page number, I could go ahead and include that. But once again, this is something that I found online. So when you are looking at citing your sources, you really do want to make sure that you're looking at, am I quoting it? Am I paraphrasing it? Or am I summarizing it? And if I am, then I definitely need to make sure that I am not only using in-text citation, but I also have that works cited page at the end.